Well, good morning, everybody. I took my medicines. I'm going to have to look this up, so hang on with me. I think I got it. I had it going earlier. The dog knocked the whole thing over. Big boy got it in my lap. You don't get up in my lap very often. But anyway, everybody's talking about this coronavirus, CV virus, and all this other viruses. I'm going to tell you something. The government controls the internet. I looked back last year all over the United States, all over every country in the world, and India was the world's worst about turning it off hundreds some odd times. But it's been off in other countries or parts of other countries over 200 and some odd times. That's how they control the information, they control the panic. Your government don't want you to go into a panic. It's letting out very little pieces of information, little bitty pieces. And, you can read between the lines if you're smart enough. I mean, if you ain't smart enough, God help you. Because ain't nobody else going to. Get a break. Like I said in my last video, they're controlling, telling you to put money up for economy collapsing. The economy is collapsing. Economic collapse. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But a lot of people ain't got no damn money to put back. So you have to improvise. Like I told you, improvise everything. But when they start controlling the internets, controlling and taking things off of YouTube, that's government control. Yeah, your government actually controls YouTube. If you want to believe that or not, they will. They definitely do. They don't like what you say. They got the power to tell it, cut it off, and they will. And YouTube, a lot of people, when they start mentioning virus or whatever, or this, that, and the other, it's off of YouTube just like that. They collapse their channel. And that's your government. And I'm not a government or conspiracy theorist or anything else, but your government does control you. If you don't believe that, then you are naive. But the United States can't afford a panic. So therefore, they're telling you in little bitty pieces what you should do, what you shouldn't do, until they get a full blown out virus going, and it's in every house and every neighborhood and everything else. They're really going to keep you down to the bare minimum of information. They haven't took down our internet yet, but in foreign countries they have blocked the internet usage. China for one, a whole bunch of places the other, Thailand, India, all kinds of places. But it's slowly, the virus information is leaking out. This could be it. It could be. I'm about a year behind, but I'm trying to get my bug out place a little bit better. I've got other ones, but this one here I thought it sounded pretty good, 50 miles from everybody. It's going to be my pandemic bug out place, because you're going to have to isolate yourself, especially you senior citizens. If you got enough stuff in the house, this, that, and the other, pay your bills online if you know how. That's what I do. Buy information, pay it online, as long as we got the internet. But I look for pretty soon, we've had some severe censoring, and I believe it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. The information's going to get out there more poorly. This dog's trying to jump. I'm waiting for him to jump on that coffee table. So he gets one paw up there and that's it. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, I see he's looking at me. Go ahead and jump up there. He used my coffee table to get up on the divan. Well, I'm going to have to give you another chair to jump up on. But your pet supplies. Get in everything you possibly can in the next 2 weeks. That'd be my advice. In the next 2 weeks, go to extremes about it. Don't wait around, because in 2 weeks it could be so bad that they've shut down your town. They've isolated you in. If you got anything to do, get it done the next 2 weeks, and then I would go in and close my doors if it got worse. That's what I do for another 2 or 3 weeks. But you give yourself about a week to 2 weeks to get everything under control. And like I said, the virus is out there. Don't believe it ain't. The government can't afford to panic, but it is telling you to stockpile, gold and has 90 days of food supply and all this. I mean, come on, what's it telling us? It's telling us it's going to get rough is what it's telling us. That's what your government's trying to tell you. It's going to get rough. I guess I'm going to let you go, but I just woke up this morning. I ain't even turned on the news. I just was reading around and things on Facebook and this, that, and the other, and government articles and this, that, and the other, and I found out that, yeah, your government is shutting down the internets across the world, and that we just a matter of time for this. They're already censoring our internet right now. We can't say keywords or this, that, and the other. But they're almost to the point of shutting our internet down. You know, especially on international calls or this, that, and the other. You know, if you had somebody in Beijing or whatever in China, you can't call them. You cannot call them. That government has already shut it down because they don't want information leaking out. It's just a matter of time. They're censoring us. So, in the next 2 weeks, I would say you need to really get everything you possibly can, and supplies, arrangements to pay your bills, everything that possibly you can get done, get it done. And then if you have to be locked up in your house or quarantined under martial law or whatever, you be a little bit better off. But in the next 2 weeks, it's going to be critical over here. I've got things I've got to do in the next 2 weeks, and I advise everybody to do their stuff in the next 2 weeks. So you'll know where you stand. Martial law means they might not be able to have a curfew. You can't come in at night. I mean, you have to come in at night. They might have a restriction on going from town to town to town to town. See where I'm coming from? They might set up blockades where you can't travel. They've already gave you restrictions on some countries you can't go into. It's happening. In the next 2 weeks is when it'll be the tipping point. It'll either get a handle on it or it'll get so damn bad that it'll be a full-blown pandemic. And it'll be out there where people can't deny, it's just, no, they can't deny it anymore. In 2 weeks, I would say it'll either get better, and if it gets worse, the government and everybody else can't deny it. They'll just start trying to control it. So that's what I got my advice this morning. Get your stuff done in the next week, if you can. 2 weeks if possible.